Good morning, students. Today we will try to follow the next concept, electric field lines. It's a very easy idea. It is actually a very significant concept developed by Faraday, and it helps us to easily understand the nature of the field that is established by a macroscopic charge distribution. See, if it is the case of a microscopic charge, a minute charge, analysis is quite easier. Using Coulomb's law, we can do that. But when it comes to a macroscopic charge distribution producing the field and exerting the force on some other system, then it's not that easy to manage with Coulomb's law. In such cases, we may need to go with a different other concept. And the leading concept for that is this electric field lines. Very easy to understand and very important. Carefully observe. I consider now a charge Q, maybe a positive charge Q, say it is fixed onto its position at the point A. Q is a charge fixed onto its position at the point A. What do I mean by fixing? It cannot move. Even after so many forces are acting on it, it is in stable equilibrium. It is not executing motion along any of the directions. Now let us say there is another point B at some finite distance. There is another point B where I have another charge but of opposite say nature, negative, placed at that point, fixed onto that position. Now in between the two, let me take a test charge of 1 coulomb and I just make this 1 coulomb charge free over here. I just bring it and I make it free. Once you just make it free, it will experience repulsion due to positive charge and attraction from the negative end, isn't it? So due to the force acting, the charge from A will start executing motion towards B. Charge starting from A will execute motion towards B because it is being repelled by this and the same is attracted by the negative. It executes motion along this line. Suppose instead of considering only one coulomb charge, if I consider say 3 plus 1 coulomb charge, I have considered how many? 3 plus 1 coulomb charges I have considered. And they are all say held like this here nearer to the positive charge, and at a particular instant of time I just make it free. Once I make it free, all the 3 charges will experience repulsion due to positive and attraction due to negative. As a result, maybe one of them executes the motion along a straight line, whereas the other two will follow a curvilinear path. You understand? It will move, execute motion on a curve, not a straight line. Because these 3, they mutually repel each other. They don't want to be close to each other. But here, due to the clutching force of mine, they were all together. Once I make them free from the clutch, they all run towards the negative charge. Again, due to the presence of negative charge, they all stay together here. But in the middle, they try to maintain the maximum possible distance. As a result, in any electric field, a unit positive charge made free would execute motion in a particular straight line or a smooth curve. They will execute motion along a particular straight line or a smooth curve. This line or curve is itself referred to as electric field line. I think you have followed. Whenever a unit positive charge is made free in the electric field, it executes motion or shows the tendency to execute motion along a straight line or a particular curve. That is itself called electric field line. You must remember that is called electric field line. So, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಯಾರು ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ field line ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು +1 ಕೂಲಂಬ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅನ್ನು ಫ್ರೀ ಆಗಿ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅದು ಯಾವ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಮೂತ್ ಕರ್ವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಅದೇ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್. So electric field line is that straight line or smooth curve along which a unit positive charge made free in the electric field moves or tends to move. must understand, it may execute the actual motion or it will show the tendency to execute the motion if it is not so free to move. ಅದರಿಂದ ಈ ಲೈನ್ ಅಥವಾ ಕರ್ವ್ ಅನ್ನು ಮುಂದೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮೇಜರ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ we need to follow now. Just a minute. Are the two charges which have been separated by a distance d. Suppose if I want to draw an electric field line somewhere here, maybe by keeping a different number of +1 coulomb charges you can get different lines, and one of the lines of force or electric field line. Sometimes electric field lines are also referred to as electric line of force. Electric field lines are also referred to as electric line of force. Both of them they mean the same. Okay. So this is one of the field lines. There may be so many such field lines, but I am considering one of them. At some point for this field line, I draw a tangent. Keep it on one side. Next, let me place a +1 coulomb charge. This +1 coulomb charge will experience a repulsion due to this positive charge. It will experience repulsion due to this positive charge and attraction due to this negative charge. Isn't it? It will experience a repulsion and attraction. Now, if you try to find the resultant for these two, this is force of repulsion, this is force of attraction. Resultant, if you calculate, it will be the diagonal of that parallelogram. You know the parallelogram law of vector addition. So it will be the diagonal of that parallelogram. Along the diagonal, the resultant force comes. And that diagonal will be exactly the tangent what I have drawn earlier. Idon force repulsion, this attraction. ಇವೆರಡಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ಕರ್ವ್ಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾಂಜೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ EQ. Force direction is field direction. Therefore, at any point on the field line, if you draw a tangent, that gives you the direction of electric intensity and electrostatic force. Okay. So, at this point, if I want to know the direction of the electric field, what do? I just draw a tangent. Agagi, must remember, tangent drawn to an electric field line always indicates the direction of the electric field at that point. So, at different points you can draw different number of tangents. Each tangent is meant for particular unique direction of the electric field at that point. See, on this curve, say I have one more curve like this. For this curve also, there are so many possibilities. I can draw a tangent like this, or I can draw a tangent like this. Here I can draw one more tangent. I can draw so many tangents at different points. At each point, the tangent drawn would indicate the direction of the electric field. You must remember, direction of the electric field is given by the tangent drawn to the electric field line. Okay? And this positive charge, this is negative charge. We will check the chance of two electric field lines intersecting with each other. Let us check the probability of two field lines intersecting with each other. Suppose that this is one field line and this is some other field line coming like this. Is there any possibility of two field lines intersecting with each other? Let's check. See, at this point of intersection, I have the possibility of drawing a tangent to this curve as well as drawing a tangent to another curve. Okay? So, at the same point, now I have the ability to draw two tangents. What does it mean? At the same point, electric field follows this direction as well as this direction. Because tangent drawn should always indicate the direction of the field line. If there are two tangents, there must be two directions, which is impossible because electric field, as you know, electric field is a vector field. Electric field is a vector field. For a vector field, at each and every point there can be only one unique direction. At the same point, electric field cannot act in multiple directions. Therefore, this is a void situation. Hence, I can say that electric field lines do not intersect. Electric field lines, they have no probability of intersecting. Intersection is totally impossible. So, you must remember this. Electric field lines do not intersect each other. Electric field lines do not intersect each other. Okay, this is another possibility. Field line ge one more type of definition can be produced on this basis. You try to understand. Q minus Q. I am considering a straight line, a curve, so many things. At any point, if you draw a tangent, tangent will indicate the direction of the electric field, I told you, isn't it? So, on this basis, we can produce a definition for electric field line. Yenandre, electric field line is a smooth curve. The tangent drawn to which always indicates the direction of the electric field at that point. Okay, so you can select that curve as an electric field line if and only if the tangent drawn to the curve at any point always indicates the direction of the electric field. Okay, so direction of the electric field indicate mado tara tangent barta idre one curve ge ಆಗ ಆ ಕರ್ವ್ ಅನ್ನ electric field line ಅಂತ ಕರೀಬಹುದು. So electric field line is that smooth curve, the tangent drawn to which always represents the direction of the electric field at that point. Suppose I have some curve like this. Can we consider this as an electric field line? No, because at any point if you draw tangent, it may not indicate the direction of the electric field. Only those curves, the tangent drawn to which always indicate the direction of the electric field at that point can be considered as electric field line, not otherwise, not otherwise. Okay, must remember this. A positive charge and this is another negative charge. I consider 100 positive charges. If I make 100 positive test charges free here, all of them will move in their own different paths to reach the negative charge. Isn't it? Yella higo. All the field lines, to test the field line, which type of test charge I am considering? Positive. Positive test charge would always show the tendency to move away from the positive charge towards the negative charge. Alva? Yavaglu idella positive inda dura hogutte, negative ge hatra barutte. Therefore, all the field lines always originate from positive charge. They start from positive charge and they terminate at negative charge. You must remember, electric field lines originate from positive charge and terminates at negative charge. ಅದರಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಗಳು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಇಂದಾನೆ ಶುರುವಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಗೆ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. One more thing, as they move away from the charge, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡು, forcibly I was holding all the charges together here. But once I make them free, they tend to move away from each other because they are all like charges. They repel each other. They don't want to be close to each other. As a result, they spread out. They spread out. ಹೀಗೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅವು ದೂರ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Lines of forces, they start exerting lateral pressure. ಎರಡು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಪಕ್ಕ ಇರಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡಲ್ಲ. Always like charges, they want to maintain the distance. As a result, they exert pressure over each other. ಒಂದನ್ನೊಂದನ್ನ ತಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ electric field lines exert lateral pressure over each other. Another important point. One more thing. See here, when you are close to the charge, either to this charge or to this charge, in a given area, you will find large number of field lines. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 field lines are there. But in the same area, when you calculate here, the number of field lines, it gets reduced. In the same area, if you come here, you will find large number of field lines. Means, number of field lines will be more if you are closer to a charge. Closer to a charge means what? Stronger field. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಹತ್ತಿರದಲ್ಲಿ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗರ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. Field lines are more crowded in the region of stronger field. You must remember, field lines are crowded in the region of stronger field. ಅದರಿಂದ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ field lines ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗಿದೆ field. See, this was a question. ನಾನು ಈಗ ಒಂದು question ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡು. This was a question raised in the examination. Very simple, easy to understand. Look at this. So they say that this is how field lines have been produced in a particular region. ಈ ತರ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಇದು ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ 3 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. This is point A, somewhere here point B, somewhere here point C. Where do you find maximum electric intensity? Maximum electric intensity. E maximum ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದೆ. Option 1 A, option 2 B, option 3 C, option 4 all 3 points. All the 3 points. Now look at this answer. Point A, B, C nalli observe madre, A is a point where if you consider a small area around, you will find large number of field lines. Ishte area na around B if you consider reduced. Ishtinne if you consider around C, it is much more smaller. Yelli field lines ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, A ನಲ್ಲಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. Therefore, E is maximum at A. ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ field lines are more crowded, large in number, only when the point is close to the charge, where the intensity is always maximum. So, the region where the electric intensity is maximum, you will find maximum intensity, maximum field lines, and it will be very close to the charge. You must understand. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ ಇದು? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ electric field lines are crowded in the region of stronger field. Now we'll move on to one more idea. This is also quite simple. Carefully observe and try to understand this. If I consider any charged body, say it is a positively charged body. Whenever the electric field line originates from a positively charged body, always it starts at right angles to the surface. Andre, electric field line is always perpendicular to the surface. It is always perpendicular to the surface, charged surface. Any line drawn perpendicular to the surface is also called normal. Adrinda electric field lines are always normal to the surface. Electric field lines are always normal to the surface. One more idea you must follow. Suppose if there is only positive charge. See, there is a body carrying only positive charges and there are no negative charges, let's say. When there are no negative charges, all the electric field lines will be originating from the body and it will not terminate at any other negative charge because no negative charge has been considered. Therefore, all the field lines will have to terminate at infinity. They have to terminate at infinity. All the field lines will have to terminate at infinity. Terminating from infinity would terminate at the negative charge. ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಟರ್ಮಿನೇಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. All of them they are converging, terminating at the negative charge distribution. So this is how the field lines will be due to a negatively charged body. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Positively charged body, negatively charged body. Field lines are different in structure. Okay. One more thing. If I consider, say, a spherical conductor carrying positive charges. Already I have told you while discussing the properties of charges that charge is a surface phenomena. Charge is a surface phenomena. Charges reside only on the surface. So this is a positively charged body, and somewhere here I have a negatively charged body. Maybe almost of the same size and same charge, same magnitude of charge distribution. Now, from the positive, the electric field lines will originate and it will terminate at the negative. Al negative surface ಮೇಲೆ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ terminate ಆಯ್ತು. It will never enter into the conductor. You must remember, field lines do not enter into the conductor. Suppose, what if I place another conductor in between? One conductor itte anta itko. Ittaga enagutte, due to electrostatic induction, positive sphere hatra ella negative collect agutte. Negative hatra ella positive collect agutte. Therefore, all the field lines would terminate at the negative charge over here. Again, from the positive charge, field lines will start and it will terminate on the negatively charged sphere. Therefore, there is no question of field lines entering into the conductor. It is never possible. Field lines do not enter into the conductor. Another important property. Okay, electric field line. Bring another test charge. Positive 1 coulomb test charge. If I just make it free, it will be repelled by this. Since there is no negative charge in the closer proximity, it will go up to infinity. Okay. Therefore, there is no chance of an electric field line originating and coming back to the same point. This is impossible. Therefore, electric field lines, they originate from a particular point. Either they can terminate at opposite polarity, or it may reach infinity, but there is no scope for the field lines to come back. Adrinda, electric field lines do not form closed loops. Electric field lines do not form closed loops. You must remember. So these are all the different significant properties of field. Consistent agide illa yavado ondu. Say for example, ee tara one charged body ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು say field line ee ತರ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು. Field line is always normal to the surface, not tangent to the surface. This is wrong. Okay. ಇನ್ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಹೀಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದು ವಾಪಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂದ ಶುರುವಾಗಿ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, which is not possible. ಇನ್ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದರಲ್ಲಿ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ is entering into the conductor. That is also not possible. So by knowing all these properties, you must recognize the correctness of the diagram. Okay, adha check madodike this helps you a lot. Iga nanu once ati in brief I will recapitulate all the properties. Try to follow. First thing, electric field lines are the imaginary smooth curve or straight line along which a unit positive charge moves or tends to move. Character number 1, property number 1, electric field lines always originate from positive charge and terminates at negative charge. Originates from positive charge and terminates at negative charge. Rule number 1. ಎರಡನೇ, for any electric field line, say this is positive charge, this is negative charge, there is an electric field line like this. If you draw tangent at any point, tangent would always indicate the direction of the field line. Second property. ಮೂರನೇ, in any electric field diagram, plus and minus q, you cannot have a situation where field lines intersect each other. It is impossible. So this situation is totally void. And the electric field lines do not intersect each other. ನಾಲ್ಕನೇ, so if you consider our field, if you call this as EA and this as EB, EA is always greater than EB. So field lines are crowded in the region of stronger field. You must remember. Field lines are crowded in the region of stronger field. Next point. Electric field lines always originate perpendicular to the surface. Field lines are always perpendicular to the surface of emergence. Wherever you draw, it should be perpendicular. Negatively charged body. they do not intersect, already we mentioned. The next thing is electric field lines do not enter into a metal body, a conductor. See, it is a conductor. ಈ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟರ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಈ ತರ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. It is impossible. Electric field lines do not enter into any conductor. Must remember, electric field lines do not enter into any conductor. ಆಮೇಲೆ electric field lines, they are capable of exerting lateral pressure. Electric field lines are capable of exerting lateral pressure. Lateral pressure is exerted by the electric field lines. They try to repel each other. So all these, one more thing is loop formation. I told you, electric field lines do not form closed loops. If they are originating from a positively charged body, they must either terminate at a negatively charged body or at infinity. But there is no scope for the field lines to form a loop, which is impossible. These are all the important and significant properties of electric field lines, which you must remember. Next part, we will understand about the field line picture in uniform electric field. Try to follow. I have told you on that day, uniform electric field is always established by a dipole. So I consider now this as a positively charged plate of charges. Uniform distribution of charges you can find here. And right in front of that and parallel to it, I have placed one more conductor. But this conductor is negatively charged. You must remember, this is negatively charged. But the magnitude of positive charge on this and magnitude of negative charge on this are one and the same. Okay. Now if I want to draw an electric field line, positive to negative, so this is one field line. There will be another field line which cannot be a curve. Adu straight line ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. Because ಅದು curve ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ from the lower side there will be a pressure, lateral pressure. ಅದೇ ತರ ಇದು curve ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ from the upper side there will be a pressure. Therefore, all the field lines are parallel lines. All the field lines are parallel lines. You must remember, in a uniform electric field, field lines are always parallel to each other. In a uniform electric field, field lines are always parallel to each other. But, sir, ಈಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ bend ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ, you said this will exert lateral pressure. Okay, accepted. But why can't you expect bending here? ಇಲ್ಲಿ bend ಆಗಬಹುದಲ್ಲ ಈ ಕಡೆ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಹೀಗೆ bend ಆದ್ರೆ there is nobody to exert pressure from that side. Why can't you expect this bending? Yes, this bending can be expected. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ edges ಅಲ್ಲಿ field lines will bend like this. This is called fringing of fields. That's actually possible in edges, but not in the uniform field in between. So, electric field lines are always parallel lines in the uniform electric field. You must remember, parallel lines in the uniform electric field. And always, at every point, both magnitude and direction of the electric field remains the same. Both magnitude and direction of the electric field remains the same. You must understand this point. Understood clearly? Right. So moving further in this concept, we have to understand the definition of electric flux. Electric flux. Field lines ali. Now the next concept is electric flux. ಈ ಫ್ಲಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಡೆರಿವೇಟಿವ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೋ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫ್ಲಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಫ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ಸ್. ಹೌ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್ಸ್, ಲೆಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಸಿ. ನೋಡಿ, ಈಗ ಐ ಟೋಲ್ಡ್ ಯು that there are so many field lines like this. in the uniform electric field. ಹೀಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹೀಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಾಗ in the path, if I consider any area, ಈ ತರ ನೋಡಿ ಹೀಗೆ field lines ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೀಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. I am considering one particular area. So these field lines will now pass through this area. Okay. Number of field lines passing normally through a given area is called electric flux. Okay, so what do we mean by flux? Electric flux is nothing but number of electric field lines passing normally. Passing normally means passing perpendicular to the surface. So perpendicular to the surface, the number of field lines passing in a given region is itself called, in a given area is itself called electric flux. So electric flux is defined as the number of field lines passing normally through a given area. Passing normally through a given area. Now let us understand, this is decided by which particular factor. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಿದು next important point. See, in a region, if you want to count the number of field lines in a given region always depends on electric intensity in that region. If there is a strong field, there will be large number of field lines. If there is a weak field, number of field lines will be smaller. So number of field lines always depends on what? The electric intensity. Okay. ಅದರಿಂದ suppose ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ electric intensity is 10 Newton per coulomb ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮುಂದೆ ಈ ತರ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇದ್ರೆ in a unit area, ಇದೆಷ್ಟು ಏರಿಯಾ 1 ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ maybe 1 meter square. In 1 unit area, electric intensity ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆಯೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ field lines ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Number of field lines present per unit area must be always equal to electric intensity. ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೋ, number of field lines passing normally through a given area should be exactly equal to electric intensity. Understood clearly? Say there are 500 field lines. How many? 500 field lines. Now I consider an area. This area is 10 meters square. 500 field lines are there in 10 meters square. What is the electric intensity? ಅಂದ್ರೆ 10 meter square ಗೆ 500 ಇದ್ರೆ what is it for 1 meter square? 500 by 10, which will be 50. So 50 Newton per coulomb will be the intensity. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾನ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು? 1 meter square ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅದು ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಟಿಗೆ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. If intensity is 10 Newton per coulomb, then in unit area you must have 10 field lines. If the intensity is 50 Newton per coulomb, then in unit area you must have 50 field lines. Suppose you have 500 field lines. 10 meter square ಅಲ್ಲಿ 500 field line ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1 meter square ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 10 ಕ್ಕೆ 500 ಆದ್ರೆ in 1 meter square there must be 50 field lines. So 50 field lines in 1 meter square means electric intensity is 50 Newton per coulomb. So what did we do here? We calculated the total field line number, which is called flux. We divided it by total area. We got electric intensity. Therefore, always you must remember electric intensity is flux per unit area. Electric intensity is the flux per unit area. It can be defined as the flux per unit area in an electric field, in a uniform electric field. Understood clearly? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಇದು? ಹಾಗಾಗಿ electric intensity is calculated as the ratio of flux to area. ಇದರಿಂದ ಫ್ಲಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೀಗೆ ಬರೀಬಹುದಾ? ಸಿ, ಫ್ಲಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ರಿಟನ್ ಆಸ್ EA. ಫ್ಲಕ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ EA. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲಕ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ, ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡು. ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲಕ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಟಿಗೆ ನ್ಯೂಟನ್ ಪರ್ ಕೂಲಮ್, ಏರಿಯಾಗೆ ಮೀಟರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್. Therefore it becomes Newton meter square per coulomb. Understood? Newton per coulomb for intensity, for area it is meter square. Therefore Newton meter square per coulomb is the unit for that. What is the dimension of flux? Dimension ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ last year exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Newton ಅಂದ್ರೆ force. Force dimension is mLT-2. meter square ಅಂದ್ರೆ length, L square. Coulomb ಗೆ charge AT-1. Simplify this. mLT-2 L square A-1 T-1. On further reducing it, mLQ T-3 A-1 is the dimensional formula for electric flux. Understood clearly? ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಇದಿಷ್ಟು? ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ. This is a positively charged plate. This is a negatively charged plate. In between, field lines originate from positive charge and terminate at negative charge. Now I am considering an area which is held in a different other angle, not perpendicular. Perpendicular ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಏರಿಯಾ. ಸೊ ಏರಿಯಾ ಸಪೋಸ್ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ಸರ್ ಹೀಗೆ ಬರೀತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ I would have written like this. But now it is a slant area. So when you consider slant area, ನೋಡು ಇದು ಹೀಗಿದೆ. ಅಕಸ್ಮಾತ್ ಇದೆ ಹೀಗಿದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ it would have enclosed all the field lines. ಇದನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ. But ಹೀಗೆ ಬೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ few field lines are not enclosed by that. Okay, so whenever the orientation of the area element changes, there will be changes in the field flux lines. Okay, ಹೀಗಿದ್ದಾಗ orientation maximum flux lines ಬರ್ತಾ 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 ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. When you take the area element exactly parallel to the field, no field lines are entering into it, then it will be absolutely zero. So e direction ಗೆ 0, e direction ಗೆ maximum. Now to judge the direction, let us draw a normal perpendicular. See, this is just an area, it is scalar. When I draw a normal, area gets a direction, then it is called area element. What is the difference between area and area element? Area is a scalar. Area element has been assigned a direction which is normal to the surface. So when you hold the area like this, normal will be, direction also changes, isn't it? Now the normal is acting this way. This is the direction of the area and this is the direction of the field. Correct? There is an angular orientation in between. Now any area that is perpendicular to the field line will only carry the flux. If the area is like this, no flux line will enter into the area. All of them will just graze over the surface. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಹೊರಟೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವುದು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನೋಡು, ಏರಿಯಾ when it becomes perpendicular to the field line, that normal drawn will become parallel to the field. What happens to theta then? Theta will become 0. Now if I put it like this, area is parallel to the field andre perpendicular drawn will be perpendicular to the field. ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ? ಇದು ತಪ್ಪಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಲೈನ್ ಒಂದು ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ ಪಾಸೇ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಏರಿಯಾನ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ದಿರೋ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲು ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಏರಿಯಾನ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಲಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಬರ್ದಿರೋ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ಲು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪರ್ಪೆಂಡಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So when normal is perpendicular to the field, there is no field line passing through the area. All of them are just grazing the surface. ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಹೀಗೆ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, try to understand this. ಹೀಗೆ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, if I hold it this way, ಆಗ tangent drawn, normal drawn will be like this, parallel to the field. Maximum field lines are there. Now, whenever we want to calculate the field line, we must always consider the component which is perpendicular to the field line. Aga nanu A anna area na I resolve it into two components. One angle pakkadalli adjacent side. Adjacent side always takes cosine component A cos theta. Always the other side takes cosine component A sin theta. Now out of the total area component along the direction of the field is only A cos theta. A cos theta is the useful component which carries the flux, and A sin theta is useless component which does not carry any flux. Now useful component of the area to be considered is A cos theta. Therefore flux becomes equal to EA cos theta. Is it not looking like flux is equal to mod E mod A cos theta? Because A has been made a vector. E is naturally a vector. So if modulus value tagondre, it looks like mod E mod A cos theta. E without arrow, if I write, it is its magnitude. A without arrow, a vector without arrow always refers to the magnitude. So it looks like mod A mod B cos theta. Mod A mod B cos theta will be equal to E dot A. Will be equal to E dot A. So electric flux is given by the dot product of intensity and area. So dot product of two vectors is on flux is a scalar quantity. Understood clearly? Right. This is another important formula which is quite useful. Okay. Now using all these ideas whatever we have discussed today, we will be doing the derivations in the next class. Three important derivations I will be doing in the next class. Three important derivations. Very important. Exam alli one baro chance irutte. Definitely there is a chance of one question appearing in the examination. You must be very attentive. But before we go to the next class, we must have a strong hold over the contents of today's class. Only then next class will be understandable and useful. Okay? I hope you come prepared for this idea. Right? Okay. We'll wind up the class today. Tomorrow we'll continue.